Okay, so imagine this. You've just done something huge, like really life-changing, a massive relationship step. But here's the catch. You kept it totally secret from your absolute best friend. How do you even start that conversation? And what if your partner, even after this big leap, is kind of struggling to believe it actually happened, that it's, real?
Welcome to the deep dive. This is where we take raw source material, dig into it, and pull out the key insights for you. We cut through the noise. And today, yeah, we're jumping right into that feeling the immediate fallout after a very impulsive wedding.
Exactly. We're looking at excerpts from Bully Bonus.pdf today. It's this narrative bit that catches a really crucial moment for a new couple, Abby and Travis Maddox, like right after they secretly tied the knot.
Right. And our mission here is, well, it's twofold. We want to unpack the nuts and bolts of what happens next, their little post-wedding adventure. But more than that, we want to get into the emotional stuff underneath, wrestling with new identities, needing that commitment validated, and how a relationship really starts to cement itself when faced with reactions from others and, maybe more importantly, those internal doubts. So yeah, get ready. There are some surprises, and it gets pretty real about relationships.
Okay, let's dive in. The story kicks off in a pretty striking place, a tattoo parlor. Picture this. Super clean, white room, Abby's getting a tattoo. But what's really interesting is Travis. He's not getting inked, but he looks like he's in more pain than she is. He's just radiating anxiety about her being uncomfortable. What does that immediately tell us about them?
It's quite a picture, isn't it? Abby's going through this physical thing, this pain for a symbol, right? And Travis is feeling it almost physically himself. It shows this like intense empathy between them, almost like their feelings are blurring together. And then the reveal. It's Mrs. Maddox. Big, elegant black letters right there on her upper thigh. And it's not out of the blue because remember, Travis already has Abby on his wrist.
Oh, right. I forgot about that. So it's a matching set, kind of.
Exactly. It's this permanent mark, literally etched onto them. It makes their new shared identity incredibly, physical,
Yeah.
visceral. It really makes you think, doesn't it?
Yeah.
About how we try to make these huge life changes feel solid, permanent.
Yeah, totally. And okay, so they've literally just marked this commitment onto her skin and boom, reality calls, or rather screams. Just as this is happening, Abby's phone goes off. It's America, her best friend, and she is not happy. The text says she's basically yelling, Abby Abernathy, I'm going to kill you. What sets off that level of fury?
Well, I mean, this is classic, isn't it? How these big personal moments, even happy ones,
Yeah.
can really shake up existing friendships if you don't handle the communication right. America's losing it because she feels completely sidelined. She was meant to be maid of honor, the witness.
Right.
She wasn't asked about the dress, no parties, no bouquet toss, nothing.
Ouch.
And the fact that it was secret, that just pours gasoline on the
Yeah.
fire. She's yelling, "You're 19, you idiot." She just can't believe Abby did this, especially without her. It's that tricky balancing act, your friend's expectations versus this huge new romantic step. One person's elopement is another person's betrayal almost.
Yeah, you can see her point. But what's interesting is how Abby handles it. She's surprisingly calm amidst this hurricane. She just says, kind of matter-of-factly, technically, it's Abby Maddox now. And her reason, super simple. We love each other. We've practically lived together for a year, so why not? There's this real, quiet conviction. And even the tattoo artist, Griffin, chimes in with a bit of humor. He jokes about how many nervous husbands he sees suffering alongside their wives getting tattoos. Makes it feel universal.
Yeah, a little moment of perspective.
So thinking about the tattoo itself, choosing that as a symbol, so permanent, so public in a way, maybe a bit edgy compared to just rings, what does that say about their specific bond?
I think it's more than just a symbol. It's like a declaration, almost tribal, Rings, well, you can take them off.
Yeah.
A tattoo like that. It signifies something deeper, maybe a more fundamental merging of who they are.
Right. It's literally part of her now.
Exactly. It's a really bold statement, not just to everyone else, but maybe mostly to themselves. It kind of points to this need to make an internal feeling physically real, especially when you're young, maybe pushing back against what people expect or even fighting your own doubts about, is this real?
All right, so moving from the tattoo parlor, they're heading to the airport. And this is where Travis's obsession with the new reality really kicks in. He's just beaming, apparently, and keeps saying Mrs. Maddox over and over. Abby finds it a bit much, even. And he actually says, when I finally realize it's true, I'll stop, I promise. What's going on there? Why the repetition?
It shows how even these massive, wonderful changes can still feel fragile. Or maybe they stir up underlying insecurities. Travis is like verbally reinforcing it, trying to convince himself maybe as much as anyone else. He's trying to make the reality stick in his own mind.
Huh. Like speaking it into existence.
A kind of.
Yeah.
And you see that insecurity pop up again really clearly at airport security. They ask him to take off his wedding ring. It's titanium.
Oh, no.
And his whole expression just changes. He looks genuinely pained and says, I promise never to take it off.
Wow.
It seems like such a small thing, removing a ring for a metal detector, but for him, it's loaded. That ring is his anchor to this new reality he's clinging to. Taking it off feels dangerous, like it could all unravel.
You can really feel that tension. And Abby's watching all this right away. She notes how they must look to other people, wondering if they look like typical newlyweds. She contrasts Travis's beatific smile with his whole look, the shaved head, tattoos, muscles. It seems like she finds it kind of funny.
Yeah, that perception versus reality thing.
And speaking of reality checks, America is still calling. She hasn't let it go.
Persistent.
So how does Travis handle this ongoing drama with Abby's best friend?
This is actually a really key moment for them as a new married unit. Travis steps up. He grabs the phone, talks to America, and basically just tackles it head on.
What does he say?
He invites her and Shep, that's America's partner, to pick them up from the airport. Tells her she can yell at them the entire way home.
Bold move.
It is. But it shows him being protective of Abby, and more than that, it shows him fully accepting this is their problem now. They face things together. He's stepping in, taking some of that heat, letting them start to function as a we.
Yeah, definitely husband mode activated. Okay, so this leads us into the deeper stuff, the really vulnerable part of their new marriage. Because despite everything, the ceremony, the rings, the tattoo, dealing with America together, Travis is still feeling shaky. At the boarding gate, he admits this deep fear. He says, I have a strange feeling, like that the bubble will burst and I'll find myself alone in my bed. He thinks it might all be a dream. It makes you wonder, doesn't it? Even with all these concrete, permanent symbols, why would someone still feel so deeply insecure about whether it's going to last?
This is really the heart of it, I think. And it's so human. Travis, who seems so tough on the outside, right, Mr. Alpha Male, he's grappling with this massive vulnerability, this fear of losing her. He even says something like, I thought being married would make me feel more secure, less afraid of losing you. But now...
Wow, that's honest.
It's incredibly raw. It shows that those deep fears, abandonment, loss, they don't just vanish. Even when everything logically says you're secure, the heart takes longer to catch up sometimes.
And Abby's response, it's just, oh, wow. It's incredibly powerful. She basically gives him the ultimate reassurance. She doesn't just say, I love you. She lists everything. All the sacrifices, the crazy situations she went through for him, reminds him she dumped guys for him, went back to Vegas twice, went through hell, married him, got his name tattooed on her body.
Laying it all out.
Yeah.
The evidence.
And then she hits him with, frankly, I'm a little short on ideas to prove to you that I'm yours. Like, what more could I possibly do?
It's just this avalanche of proof. And then she brings up the vows, but playfully, right? I swore before God and Elvis to stay by your side for better or worse, right?
Ah, gotta love the Elvis mention.
It lightens it for a second, but then she goes for the knockout punch. To really silence that deep doubt in him, she makes the boldest bet imaginable. She said she'll bet her first child on their marriage lasting.
Whoa, that's intense.
Yeah.
Shocking, right? But it works. It's so absolute, so visceral that it finally cuts through his fear. The text says a tranquil expression comes over his face. It says so much about needing absolute certainty sometimes, doesn't it? That only such a radical promise could finally soothe that core fear.
It really is a stark contrast. Travis, all outward confidence, but deep down terrified. Abby may be quieter on the surface, but her commitment is just fierce, unshakable.
Yeah.
Their whole interaction, it really shows how differently people show love and, maybe more importantly, how they need to feel loved and secure. Their journey, even just in these few hours, shows that commitment isn't just the big moments, the wedding or the tattoo. It's also about facing down those quiet, nagging fears together.
Absolutely. It's about building that internal certainty, making the feeling inside match the facts outside.
So wrapping this up, we've seen this couple mark their new beginning in a very permanent way, deal with the fallout from loved ones, and face some really deep personal fears, all in just a few hours after saying, I do. Yeah, we saw how these symbols, the tattoo, the ring, they help solidify things, but ultimately it was that raw, honest talk, that extreme reassurance that really calmed the storm inside Travis. It let the new reality finally land.
Definitely. And it leaves us, and you listening, with something to think about. In a world that feels like it's always shifting, what really is the most powerful way we can convince ourselves and the people we love that our biggest commitments are real and lasting? What does that ultimate proof look like?